I never thought I'd be that guy posting a revenge story on Reddit, but here I am. 6 months ago, my life was perfectly normal. I, 38M, had been married to Sarah, 36F, for 12 years. We had what I considered a good marriage, a nice house in the suburbs, decent jobs, and plans to start a family soon. We'd been college sweethearts, and I genuinely believed we were happy. That illusion shattered on a random Tuesday when I came home early from a business trip. My flight had been canceled due to mechanical issues, and I decided to surprise Sarah. Turns out, I was the one who got surprised. I found her car in the driveway alongside another vehicle I didn't recognize, a sleek black BMW. Maybe a friend was visiting, I thought. But as I quietly entered our home, I heard sounds coming from upstairs that made my blood run cold. You know the sounds. The ones no husband ever wants to hear coming from his own bedroom. Standing frozen in our hallway, I had two choices: confront them immediately or gather more information. Some primal instinct told me to choose the latter. I silently took photos of the BMW, including the license plate, then left the house without either of them knowing I'd been there. I checked into a hotel and spent the night in a daze, alternating between rage, devastation, and a strange, detached feeling like I was watching someone else's life fall apart. By morning, I had formulated a plan. First, I needed to know who this guy was. The license plate was registered to one David Thompson, 39M, an executive at a rival company to the one where Sarah worked in marketing. A quick social media search revealed he was married to Elena, 37F, and they had 2 young children. They appeared to be the perfect family, attending charity galas and posting vacation photos from exotic locations. I returned home the next day as if nothing had happened. Sarah greeted me with her usual kiss, asked about my trip, and went about her normal routine. I watched her lie to my face with practiced ease and wondered how long this had been going on. For the next 3 weeks, I played the role of unsuspecting husband while documenting everything. I hired a private investigator who confirmed Sarah and David met at least twice a week at a hotel downtown. The PI delivered a comprehensive file with dates, times, photographs, and even some recordings of their conversations that made me physically ill to hear. Meanwhile, I prepared meticulously. I consulted a divorce attorney, secretly moved half our joint assets to a private account, and copied all the evidence. The attorney advised me that in our state, adultery could influence the division of assets. Then came the hard part. I needed to decide how to confront Sarah, but something else was gnawing at me. Elena. Did she deserve to know? As I watched David's social media updates of family outings with the wife and kids he was betraying, my anger crystallized into something colder and more focused. That's when the idea came to me. The annual industry gala was approaching, an event both our companies attended. Sarah had already mentioned she would be networking there. I was typically her plus one, but this year, I had a different idea altogether. Finding Elena wasn't difficult. She worked as an art gallery curator downtown, and her schedule was posted on the gallery's website. One Tuesday afternoon, when I knew Sarah and David would be at their regular hotel rendezvous, I visited the gallery. Elena was everything David's social media portrayed: elegant, intelligent, and genuinely kind as she enthusiastically guided visitors through the exhibition. I introduced myself as a potential buyer interested in contemporary art. We spent an hour discussing various pieces, and I found myself actually enjoying her company despite the circumstances. After 2 more gallery visits, I decided it was time. I asked Elena for coffee, and once we were seated at a quiet corner table, I took a deep breath. Elena, I need to tell you something, and it's going to be difficult to hear. Her expression changed immediately. Is everything okay? I placed the manila envelope on the table. My name isn't just Michael. I'm Michael Davis. My wife is Sarah Davis, who has been having an affair with your husband David for at least 6 months. The color drained from her face. I hated being the one to shatter her world, but she deserved the truth. With trembling hands, she opened the envelope and looked through the photos, time-stamped hotel receipts, and detailed reports. I suspected something, she whispered, tears forming in her eyes. Late meetings, business trips that didn't quite add up, but I wanted to believe him. We talked for hours. She cycled through shock, denial, grief, and finally, anger. It turned out David had financially isolated her. While they appeared wealthy, he controlled everything. She had given up her career when they had children and had only recently returned to work. I can't confront him yet, she said finally. I need time to figure out my next steps, to protect my children. I nodded. I understand. I haven't confronted Sarah either. A week later, Elena called me. She'd consulted a lawyer, documented financial information, and was ready. We met again to coordinate our plans. The industry gala, I suggested. They'll both be there. Sarah told me she's attending alone for networking, and I'm guessing David fed you a similar line. Elena's smile was bitter. He said it was men only this year. What if, I said slowly, we show up together? The plan took shape. The gala was a high-profile event with photographers, industry leaders, and plenty of gossip. Sarah and David would be there, thinking their spouses were safely at home, unaware. Elena hesitated. Won't this be very public? That's the point, I replied. They humiliated us in private. Why shouldn't they face consequences in public? As the day approached, Elena and I prepared meticulously. She chose a stunning red dress that made her look like a movie star. I had my best suit tailored. We weren't just going to make an appearance. We were going to command attention. The night of the gala, I picked Elena up in a rented limousine. She looked nervous but determined as she slid into the seat beside me. Are you sure about this? I asked, giving her one last chance to back out. She squared her shoulders. They've been living a double life at our expense. It's time we showed them exactly who they're dealing with. As the limousine pulled up to the red carpet, I offered Elena my arm. Ready to crash a party? Her smile was both beautiful and terrifying. Absolutely. The ballroom of the Grand Meridian Hotel was decorated with crystal chandeliers and ice sculptures, the kind of opulence both our companies splurged on once a year to impress clients. Elena and I paused at the entrance, scanning the crowd. It didn't take long to spot them. Sarah and David were standing close, too close, by the champagne fountain, his hand resting casually on the small of her back. They were laughing, completely at ease in their deception. My chest tightened, but Elena squeezed my arm reassuringly. Remember the plan? She whispered. Let them see us first. We made our entrance, arm in arm. Elena was radiant, and I stood taller beside her. We accepted champagne flutes from a passing waiter and mingled, deliberately working our way across the room. Several colleagues greeted me with surprise, clearly wondering about the beautiful woman on my arm who wasn't my wife. I caught the exact moment Sarah saw us. Her champagne glass froze halfway to her lips, her eyes widening in shock. She nudged David, whose casual smile disappeared instantly when he spotted his wife on my arm. The color drained from both their faces. I think we've been noticed, I murmured to Elena. Perfect timing, she replied, handing me her clutch purse. That's my cue. As planned, Elena approached the DJ and whispered something. He nodded, and moments later, the music faded. The DJ spoke into his microphone. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a special announcement. The room quieted as Elena took the microphone, her voice steady. Good evening, everyone. For those who don't know me, I'm Elena Thompson, wife of David Thompson from Apex Industries. She found him in the crowd, locking eyes. At least, I'm his wife until the papers are finalized. Murmurs rippled through the crowd. David started pushing through people toward her, panic written across his face. David, don't bother coming up here, Elena continued calmly. I just wanted to publicly thank you and Sarah Davis for finally bringing Michael and me together. She gestured toward me, and I raised my glass in salute. Your hotel meetings every Tuesday and Thursday created the perfect opportunity for us to meet and compare notes. The room erupted in whispers. Sarah was frantically looking for exits while David had frozen in place, his professional reputation disintegrating in real time. I joined Elena at the microphone. Sarah, I've already moved your things to your mother's house, I announced. The locks have been changed, and the divorce papers are on their way. I suggest you check your email before trying to come home. We hadn't planned to say more, but Elena had one final dagger to twist. She took the microphone again, her voice ice cold. Oh, and David, the children and I will be staying at your lake house, the one you claimed was an investment property, but actually put in your brother's name. Your brother called me yesterday after meeting with my lawyer. He's always liked me better anyway. We handed back the microphone, leaving stunned silence in our wake. As we walked out arm in arm, heads held high, we passed our spouses. Neither could meet our eyes. In the limousine afterward, the adrenaline finally wore off. Elena and I looked at each other and, despite everything, burst into laughter, the kind that borders on tears. Do you think we went too far? She asked eventually. I shook my head. They brought this on themselves. All we did was refuse to be their victims. 6 months have passed since that night. The divorces were finalized quickly. Turns out cheaters don't have much leverage when their affairs are publicly exposed. Sarah moved to another city, and David's company quietly asked him to resign after losing 2 major clients who had witnessed our gala announcement. As for Elena and me, we started as reluctant allies united by betrayal, but somewhere along the way, something changed. We've taken things slowly, both still healing, but last week she finally agreed to let me take her on a proper date. Sometimes the best revenge isn't just exposing the truth, it's finding happiness in spite of those who tried to destroy you. And on that front, our revenge has truly been the sweetest of all. I appreciate you watching till the end. Hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for more content.